The Gospel of the Lord. You know, there's just something so attractive, so mesmerizing, and just so incredible about an art form that uses broken pieces to create a cohesive and magnificent final work. Now, most of us, I'm sure, are familiar with mosaics, right? Or quilting, those of us who sew, or 3D sculptures that use discarded materials, discarded or recycled materials. And of course, a lot of us are familiar with stained glass windows. But there is one form of art that falls in this category that I bet most of us have never heard of. Now, I admit, I myself just recently learned about it. It's called kintsugi, K-I-N-T-S-U-G-I, kintsugi. Kintsugi is an ancient Japanese art of putting broken pottery pieces back together with lacquer dusted or mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. Dating back to the late 15th century, this technique originated when a Japanese shogun, or a military ruler, sent a damaged Chinese tea bowl back to China for repairs. When it was returned with unsightly metal staples, the ever-clever and innovative Japanese craftsman sought a more aesthetically pleasing method. Hence, the art of kintsugi was born. Kin, K-I, meaning gold, and tsuji, T-S-U-G-I, meaning join. So, golden joinery. The philosophy behind it is there's beauty in imperfection. It eventually became a symbol of mending and strength, aligning with the samurai's values of perseverance and integrity. So rather than discarding the broken pieces of your favorite coffee mug or your grandma's rare porcelain platter or bowl, or that one-of-a-kind vase that you got from your travels that you accidentally knock over one day, well, kintsugi can transform them into unique and more beautiful pieces. In our lives, we often face challenges and setbacks that leave us feeling broken. And we struggle to find ways to get back on our feet, that is, to put the pieces back together. Our brokenness might be emotional. Maybe a loved one died, or a friend you thought you could trust betrayed you. Our brokenness might be purely physical due to a chronic illness or an accident. Perhaps our brokenness is psychological. We suffer from depression or anxiety, perhaps just stressed out and traumatized for getting terminated from work or in a relationship. And so we find ourselves in pieces. And we're left with a big question. What am I going to do with all these pieces? But I think the bigger question is, what will we allow God to do with these pieces? Now, this is where authentic faith and humility come into play. The two are deeply intertwined. Together, faith and humility allow us to recognize our imperfections, our brokenness, and to realize that we are in need of something so much greater than ourselves. Yet it's also to understand and acknowledge that our scars and our struggles contribute to our individuality and strength, much like the pottery becomes more valuable and beautiful through its restoration. Recognizing our brokenness is the first step towards seeking God's grace. And this humility allows us to surrender our ego and pride, fostering a deeper faith. I quote from today's gospel: "Gather the fragments left over so that nothing will be wasted." That verse is really a profound directive from Jesus, who instructs us and his disciples, of course, to collect the leftover pieces after feeding the multitude, emphasizing the value of every fragment. It suggests a perspective that nothing and no one is without worth, and that even the broken and fragmented can be gathered, restored, and be made whole again. My dear friends, there is great potential for beauty and usefulness in what might initially seem damaged or insignificant. So we need to cherish and utilize everything we have and understand that even our flaws and failures have value. By acknowledging our brokenness and working to mend it, we can cultivate a deeper appreciation for the wholeness that comes from restoration. So if you're someone who's feeling very broken or in total darkness, know that every piece of you is incredibly valuable. Every fragment of your being tells a story of resilience, strength, and unique beauty. Every trial you face polishes your character, bringing out the brilliance within you. Your presence in this world is irreplaceable, and your story isn't over yet. We have an incredible God, my friends. A God who can and wants to use every single part of us. Just as a skilled artist can create a stunning mosaic from broken tiles, well, God can take our pain and struggles, weaving them into a new, stronger, and more resilient tapestry. With Him, every little piece will come together, and all will be fashioned in such a way that will leave us in awe, leave us astonished at that dazzling person looking back at us in the mirror. My dear friends, with God, there is always hope. Always. There's more than enough. And that's a truth we often forget or find hard to believe. We just got to trust in His infinite wisdom and love, for He sees the bigger picture and is always working for our good, even when we can't yet see the final masterpiece. So, my question for you is, will we let God pick up the pieces? Or will the rest of the world continue to hunger for the person we could have been? Remember, every setback is a setup for a comeback. So embrace the opportunity to rebuild, knowing that each piece you mend adds to the masterpiece of your life.
Thank you for joining us today. Our digital ministry provides a valuable service to parishioners and visitors alike. Daily and Sunday Mass, funerals, weddings, and fireside chats, among other things, can be seen locally, throughout the country, and even the world, in real time or at one's convenience. If you would like to support this effort, please go to olphglenview.org. Click on the gold donate button and then the Sunday Giving icon to make a contribution on our secure online giving portal. We sincerely appreciate your past and ongoing support. Thank you for helping us continue this ministry. God bless.